Good people all this Christmas time, consider well and bear in mind what our good God for us has done in sending his beloved Son. With merry holly we should pray to God with love this Christmas day. In Bethlehem upon that morn there was a blessed Messiah born. Near Bethlehem did shepherds keep their flocks of lamb and feeding sheep, to whom God's angels did appear, which put the shepherds in great fear. Prepare and go, the angel said, to Bethlehem. Be not afraid, for there you'll find this happy morn, a princely babe, sweet Jesus born. With thankful hearts and joyful minds, the shepherds went the babe to find. And as God's angel had foretold, that did our Savior Christ behold. Within a manger he was laid, and by his side the Virgin Maid, attending to the Lord of light, who came on earth to end all strife. There were three wise men from afar, directed by a glorious star, and on they wandered night and day until they came where Jesus lay. And when they came unto that place where our beloved Messiah lay, they humbly cast them at his feet, with gifts of gold and incense sweet. And when they came unto that place where our beloved Messiah lay, they humbly cast them at his feet, with gifts of gold and incense sweet.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Saratoga Springs and the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Albany. We are Unitarian Universalists with minds that think, hearts that love, and hands that are ready to serve. Together, we care for our earth and work for friendship and peace in our world. It's good to be together today. I'm the Reverend Joe Cleveland. I'm the minister of the UU Saratoga congregation. Also with us is Sam Trumbore, the minister of Albany, and Leah Purcell, the director of family ministry in Albany and kind of in Saratoga as well. It's great to be together this morning. Just a couple of things before we get the service proper underway. Please be sure that your Zoom name tag has your name and the pronoun that is appropriate for you. That just makes it more welcoming for all of us. And let's see, please be sure that you're muted during the service. We'll have a chance to unmute ourselves and chat after the service is done. There are various ushers and welcomers here. So if you're new to the service, you might want to say hi in the chat, and there'll be messages there in the chat. So watch for that as well. It's good to be together as today, this morning, we visit with new ears the story of the birth of Jesus. So please center yourself just a bit, take a breath, maybe roll your shoulders just a bit. Here you go. Hear this call to worship called Breathed into the World by the Reverend Sandra Fees. Whoever you are, wherever you go, may you know the stillness of winter and the call to love. May you see the moon silvering the night sky and let the dark of midnight plunge you into your truest self and fling you back out again to a world in need of who you are. May there be the familiar carols you know by heart and new melodies to set you free. May there be feasting and frolicking, kindness and wonderment. And may there be wise people to follow a star in the east and a child to teach us to love, and enough magic to let the imagination go wild, to let Christmas arrive with its enchantments, with its glitter, glow, and gold, to let what wants to be born break through. May the presence of the holy crowd out fear, hate, and worry, and proclaim in this moment that peace and goodwill might yet be breathed into the world, and avow that we too can give birth to love wherever we go, whoever we are. As I share these next words by the great Howard Thurman, everyone is invited to light a chalice or a candle of your own at home. The flame that lights your chalice at home is a symbol of and connected to the love, faith, and hope that guides these Unitarian Universalist communities. This reading is called I Will Light Candles, and it's by Howard Thurman. I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of grace to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all the year long.
Welcome again to everyone who's come to this multi-generational and joint Christmas service. You don't need me to tell you that this is a year like no other. Because of the pandemic, many of our holiday traditions and timelines are out the window. And so this Christmas service may not be all that you have imagined or experienced in the past. There is no hall or sanctuary full of excited people, no babies crying for all to hear, no robes trailing from kings coming up the aisle, no moment of stillness as we pause and breathe together and sing. But some things never change. I can tell you that when we recorded the pageant on Zoom a few weeks ago, there were the same last-minute costume adjustments and practicing of lines, and there was the same anticipation and excitement we have at every pageant rehearsal. In a few minutes, we'll hear and see the traditional Christmas story, this time told in Zoom fashion. But just as we do every year, we rely on your good spirit to make it come to life.
And our offering this morning, we thought rather than doing our normal offering routine, would be better, as we're doing a joint service, to do a giveaway of the plate. And we thought that the giveaway of the plate would be something that would be good if we could go to an organization that was one that was a capital region-wide organization. So we thought about it and we thought, okay, let's go to the local NAACP as our source for our donation. And Deborah Brown Johnson will be the president of our local NAACP chapter. Will speak to give you a little bit of information about it.
Good morning. On behalf of the Albany NAACP, I extend a heartfelt thank you to the First Unitarian Universalist Congregations of Albany and Saratoga for your thoughtful donation. The NAACP believes that information is power, and towards that end, over the past 6 months, we have organized and supported the following: help in reimagining police engagement, supported Census 2020 efforts, registered voters, hosted civic engagement forums, Why Vote, which focused on voters between the ages of 18 to 35, and after the vote, featuring a diverse group of African-American women. We volunteered at food donations, provided information on the impact and protection from COVID-19 for communities of color. As we go forward, we will continue advocacy efforts in promoting equitable healthcare, access to quality education, civic engagement, highlighting the fact that there are both individual and community responsibilities beyond the actual voting, identifying and recommending actions to bridge the divide between police and the community, ensuring fairness and justice, increased understanding of economic development as it relates to home ownership, business development, and self-sufficiency. Again, we thank you for your kind consideration. Please consider taking out a membership and join us in these efforts. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. And on the next slide, we'll see how we. And now, the time you've been waiting for, it's time for our pageant.
What a beautiful season. The bright colors, the delicious cookies, decorating the house and hanging ornaments on the tree is such fun.
Christmas is the time of year for smiles, giving and receiving gifts, and showing our family and friends how much we care about them.
But wait, this Christmas there's a pandemic. Can we still find beauty, joy, and hope in this kind of Christmas season with hand sanitizer, masks, and being socially distant?
If I remember correctly, there was plenty of hardship and worry in the original Christmas story of Jesus' birth. Every year, we tell this familiar and beloved story because it shows beauty and joy happening despite hard times.
And every year, we depend on the goodwill and cooperation of our congregation in telling the story as best we can.
Oh, good. Well then, let us remember the story now, all together as a congregation, as we enjoy doing every year. Here we go.
Mary, a young Jewish woman who became Jesus' mother, was beautiful and a favorite among her neighbors.
Someone had hunted the world over, they could not have found a finer person than Mary. Her mind was empty of ugly or mean thoughts, and her heart was full of kindness for all.
Late one afternoon, Mary sat in her garden dreaming of the time when she would become a mother.
Mary was surprised when suddenly the angel Gabriel appeared in a beam of beautiful color and light.
Happy woman, happy woman.
Me?
Mary, you will soon have a child. He shall be a boy. You shall call him by the name Jesus. When he is grown, he shall be a king. His kingdom will never be destroyed or come to an end.
When these amazing words had been said, the shining angel disappeared, and Mary was left alone, trembling with wonder.
Wow. What am I going to do? I'm supposed to marry Joseph. He might not like this. I better go talk to him right away.
Joseph was a good man, a carpenter by trade. After Mary spoke to him about what happened to her, he went to his workshop.
Wow, I'm confused. We're not even married yet. How can Mary already be carrying a child?
While Joseph was thinking it all over, another angel came to reassure him.
Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to make Mary your wife. She will give birth to a son, and you will to give him the name of Jesus.
I don't even get to pick the name. I do feel better though. Mary is such a good person. I love her and I will love this child, and we will be a family. I'm gonna tell her right now so she doesn't worry.
And now we'll sing the song, Jesus is Our Brother. In a moment, you'll see the words on your screen.
Jesus, our brother, kind and good, was humbly born in a stable rude, and the friendly beasts around him stood. Jesus, our brother, kind and good. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown, I carried his mother up hill and down. I carried her safely to Bethlehem town. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown. I said the cow, all white and red, I gave him my manger for his bed. I gave him hay to pillow his head. I said the cow, all white and red. I said the sheep with curly horn, I gave him my wool for his blanket warm. He wore my coat on Christmas morn. I said the sheep with curly horn. I said the dove from rafters high, I cooed him to sleep that he should not cry. We cooed him to sleep, my mate and I. I said the dove from the rafters high. And all the beasts by some good spell in the stable dark were glad to tell of the gifts they gave Emmanuel, the gifts they gave Emmanuel.
Right around the same time, a decree went out from the Emperor Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered like a census. Then they could pay the taxes.
I decree that all people must go to their city or town of birth and register. I need money, government is very expensive, and I like nice things.
Joseph had to go all the way from Nazareth in Galilee to the city of David called Bethlehem, which was in Judea. It was a 90-mile trip, and they'd have to walk.
I don't even live in the town I was born in, and my wife is 9 months pregnant. It could take a whole week to get there. Oh man, I better get a donkey to carry her.
There is nothing that could be done about it. They had to go.
I think this baby is coming very soon, and I'm terribly uncomfortable. I wanted to have my baby at home in a familiar place with familiar people around. Thank you, Joseph. I'm so grateful to have this donkey to ride on.
Hee-haw.
And so they started on their journey, traveling by day and sometimes through the dark nights.
And now let's sing at home, O Little Town of Bethlehem.
Town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark streets shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For Christ is born of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wandering love. O morning stars together proclaim the holy birth. Let praises ring from God, they bring goodwill to all on earth. How silently the wonder is made known, when God imparts to human hearts the gift that is our own. No ear may hear that coming, but in this worldly din, when souls are truly humble, then the dear babe rests within.
When Mary and Joseph were in Bethlehem, the time came for Mary to have her baby, but there was no room at the inn, the only place with comfortable beds.
I looked everywhere, but the only place I could find a stable was behind the inn, where the donkeys and cows are. Yee-haw.
The animals welcomed Mary and Joseph into the stable, and were even so kind as to give up their hay-filled manger so the baby could have a bed.
Thus, Mary gave birth to her firstborn child in a simple stable, surrounded by animals, and wrapped him up in bands of cloth and placed him in a manger.
I'm so tired, but isn't he beautiful?
And now we'll sing the hymn, The First Noel.
While in that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Hey, what's that?
A group of angels appeared suddenly before the shepherds. Then the angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around the shepherds, and they were terrified.
Do not be afraid, for I am bringing you good news of great joy for all people. To you is born this day in the city of David a great prophet, a messenger of God. This will be a sign to you. You will find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger.
And suddenly, along with the speaking angel, there was a multitude of angels.
Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace, goodwill among all people everywhere.
Then the angels left the shepherds and seemed to go right up into the heavens.
Whoa, that was wild. Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place, which has been made known to us.
Sure.
So the shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem with their sheep, and there they found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger.
It is just as the angel said it would be. Wait until you hear what happened to us while we were in the field.
What an amazing story.
I shall remember this and keep it in my heart always.
And then the shepherds and the sheep knelt around the manger, glorifying God for all the wonders they had seen and heard, just as it had been told to them.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, several wise men who were kings from the east came to Jerusalem.
And now let us sing the hymn, Do You Hear?
Where the child was been born to lead the Jews.
Where we observed his star in the sky.
We have come to praise him and bring him gifts.
Wise royalty learned from the king about a prophecy which had been spoken long ago, that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem.
So they set out for Bethlehem, and there ahead of them went a star that they had first seen when it appeared in the east.
And now let's sing We Three Kings.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fount and moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us through this perfect night. Frankincense to offer have I, incense owns a deity nigh. Prayer and praising all are raising, worship God most high. O star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us through this perfect night. Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes a life of gathering gloom. Sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in the stone-cold tomb. O star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us through this perfect night. Born a babe on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. Love forever ceasing
The wise people followed the star until they came to the stable where the newborn child was laying in the manger.
If there is stepped over that stable.
Let us enter and honor the child.
Did we bring the right gifts?
Wise royalty saw the child with his mother and knelt down to honor him.
They opened their bags and brought out gifts of
Gold, frankincense, myrrh.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Look at this happy scene.
The stable is so full of people and animals in wonder.
This has truly been an amazing night. I already love my son so much, and already he has brought so many people and creatures together in peace and joy.
It was a special night with stars and angels and shepherds and wise royalty and animals.
Despite their differences, they all came together to witness a special birth. They knew that this would be no ordinary child.
I foretold that Jesus would grow up to be a king, but he was not the kind of king who had riches or a palace or even a home he could call his own.
Jesus became a great teacher who traveled from town to town. He told meaningful stories and gave people examples of how to live, how to be good to others, and how to do the right thing.
Jesus' love for all people and his teachings are still important and valuable to us today.
And no matter what happens in the world or how we tell the story, it is still full of beauty, hope, and joy.
And for our last hymn, let's sing Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain.
Our benediction this morning is from Howard Thurman again, The Work of Christmas. When the song of angels is stilled.
When the star in the sky is gone.
When I can't see the slide, I can't read it. Could we have that slide, Chris? When the kings and princes are home.
When the shepherds are back with their flock.
The work of Christmas begins.
To find the lost.
To heal the broken.
To feed
the hungry.
To release the prisoner.
To rebuild the nations.
To bring peace among the people.
To make peace in the heart. And music.
Our words for extinguishing the chalice are the same as always. Please join together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Our cast of characters for the pageant this year. Our narrators were Eliza Schlesinger and Charlotte Baldus and Anya Miller. Anna Baldus was Mary. Natalie Plamondon was Gabriel. Griffin Cullis was Joseph. Zora Miller played the speaking angel. Levi Edvilson played Caesar. The donkey was Noah Edvilson. The cow was Theo Stanwix. The speaking shepherds were Deirdre Quayle and Liz Richardson Hart. The sheep were Flora Schlesinger and Octavia Hart. And our wise people were Philip Hans Rose, Eli Stanwix, and Lucy Edvilson.
Our thanks to our ushers today, Dawn Dana, Dick Dana, Kathy Harris, Annika Pfluger, and Eric Lawson. Pastoral Care Associates were Sandy Stone and Dee Van Riper. Our welcomer was Don Odell. Musicians, Randy Rosette, Elena Karpoff, Susan Hamlin, and our office support, Dan Forbush and Sapphire Correa. And Chris Jensen is our technical support today as well. We do have some announcements.